Paula Van Gilder with Talk with Paula for mental health and addiction awareness. Today, I am very happy to, with my two guests that I have Mike and Guy with Sleep in Heavenly Peace. I know I have posted a lot of their information on our Facebook page, Neighbors Together. I also have had, I believe, 6 beds delivered to this area. And the goal is to have a hub down this area. I was very grateful to meet Bob Rosso 5 years ago along with Mike. And I did a video. He did come on 5 years ago and shared a lot of information. So I am going to now introduce Mike, who is the new president, and Guy. And have at it, guys. You can introduce who you are, what you are, and because it's such an incredible story, and who they are, what they do. And I know we have some pictures to show. So welcome and thank you very much. And the floor is yours.
Well, thank you for having us. My name is Mike Lemieux. I am the Vermont Chittenden County for Sleep in Heavenly Peace chapter president. We are a nonprofit who basically builds and delivers beds to children that need a bed. We're sleeping on unfavorable conditions, whether they're sleeping with their parents, grandparents, sleeping on the floor, a beanbag, whatever you have. Sleep in Heavenly Peace started in 2012 by a gentleman in Twin Falls, Idaho named Luke Mickelson that around Christmas time was, I think his kids were not appreciating what they had, and he just said, come on guys, let's go in the garage and we're gonna build beds. So they built a couple of beds for a church, for their church group. And then they also had some lumber left over and whatever, and he put a message out on Facebook or social media and said, does anybody need a bed or something like that? And all of a sudden the floodgates opened. People were coming in saying, I could use a bed. Somebody else would come in and say, I have lumber, I have pillows, I have mattresses. And that, he said, well, this is something that's necessary out there. So in 2012, that's how it started in Twin Falls, Idaho. Now we have over 350 chapters in the United States, and I believe we are in 4 or 5 different countries.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So right now, I think in the nation, we've delivered over 300,000 beds, but there's a waiting list of like 1 million. So there's still a lot of parts that are not supplied, or you don't have people, and that's the case here. We cover 8 counties, mostly upper Vermont. I think we do Chittenden, Franklin, Addison, Grand Isle, Orange, Caledonia, Lemieux. I think that's
wow.
Right now. That's what we're doing right now, and so we don't really touch the bottom part of the state, and there's a need. There's statistics say that like 3% of kids out there are sleeping on something that you wouldn't want to sleep on.
Blow-up mattresses, couches.
So whatever. So, and our chapter has been in existence since September of 2019. Mike Rowe back then on Facebook did a show called Returning the Favor, where they went around and they looked for good deed doers, as he called them. And he posted them going to this chapter for Sleep in Heavenly Peace. And Bob Russo, he's the one that watched it. And then he's high school buddies with me and another guy, Dan Parrott. He sent the video to Dan, they sent it to me, and we said, yeah, we're in.
That's awesome.
Guy was soon to follow, we've been doing it ever since. So in Vermont, since 2019, we have delivered 2,594 beds. And when we do the beds, we start with raw lumber. We do cutting, sanding. We have wonderful community support to help us build the beds. And when we deliver the beds, the child gets a mattress, the sheets, bedding, pillows, the whole works. They're ready to sleep right off the bat.
Which is
wonderful.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I And I remember when a little girl that you just recently delivered to a family, I want to say February, right? Does that sound right around here?
Yeah.
And that little girl was, well, you brought 4 to the family. Very needed. Oh, try not to have a moment. But I know this little girl especially was so excited. She shared it with her, her teacher, who then shared it with me. And how excited she was that she had a fun bunk bed but the bedding you guys get too, because you get donations for all the bedding, and it's not just bedding, it's cute. They get either handmade quilts, beautiful sheet sets, all brand new, pillows, a sheet set, and a beautiful comforter. How welcoming. And actually, because our group at one time gave stuffed animals. So how welcoming is that for a child that maybe has been on the floor, a couch, a blow-up mattress, seen that,
Oh, yes.
sleeping with parents, just, you're right, not the best sleeping per se. What a huge difference to call something fresh, new, yours. And a good night's sleep is very important.
Very.
And I can only imagine, because when I heard that, I'm a very visual person, and I know this child, and I was like, I can almost see the excitement. She had a fresh bed, beautiful sheets, but it was hers, and that made me really happy.
Yeah.
So go on, because you
probably-
guys.
You can probably talk about the bedding. It's all stored at the guy's house.
It's all stored at my
It
place.
is?
Yes.
Oh
yes.
gosh.
And we receive all of the donations from the ladies. What's the name of the group?
Project Linus.
Project Linus. And they deliver anywhere from 50 to 70 quilts per month. And it's made from their hearts.
Oh, yeah.
They're so beautiful. And that's why when we make our posts, we make sure that every one of them is taken a picture of. And yes, and my job is as a vice president, but my first job was the build manager. And so I would coordinate getting the lumber delivered, cut up, then our build days. But the most rewarding part is the deliveries.
Oh, I can.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes. Oh, yes. And the smiles, and you can tell that this is going to be theirs, and they're going
Yeah.
to sleep well that night.
And it just makes you feel good. I remember when you guys did a presentation for mine, because when I met Bob, well, yeah, it had to be when he just barely started. And, he came down to Ludlow. I did an event at Mangiamo's. It was actually when I was first launching mental health and awareness. But you guys came down, and it was awesome. And people were like, oh my God, that's great. And I know there's a need for it here.
Oh, yes.
Very huge need, which actually I did reach out, like I shared with you, to someone that she expressed an interest of wanting to help with a hub down here. And I know there would be so many that would help contribute as well, including our group. We would love to help. Because it is a need. There's a need for it. And I hope that we can have, because I know you have pictures, but I hope that we can share like a clip of some of the videos of your builds. Because please share the time that you had Lewis there, Gutzman. That was too cool. I saw him.
yeah.
He was on a build that you did. How long was that, in the fall?
Oh, about a year ago?
Yeah, I would
Yeah.
say pretty
Yes.
close.
Yes.
Pretty
Yeah.
close. Yeah, he was pretty dynamic, and he was a volunteer
Yes.
himself in the past, and he was just so excited and so enthused, and he was. I mean, he just was just so cheerful just to get us
Dynamic.
together and thanked us all for what we do.
Yeah.
And one of the biggest rewards besides bringing kids beds is the involvement with the community, how they come and help support us. And I mean, we meet all kinds of people that just cannot do enough for our organization and help us get kids off the floor in our town, which is that's our model, and that's what we want to have happen. And all these people that come to these builds, and they don't always get to go on deliveries, but I always make sure that I tell them all that, yeah, this is nice, but the frosting on the cake is the delivery. When you have a little 3-year-old grab you around the leg, look up at you, and say, "Thank you for my bed." I mean,
I would be crying.
oh
the
yeah,
time.
oh
I'd
yeah,
be a mess.
we do, and the
We
parents
see it.
cry,
Yeah.
and
The
the
parents
delivery,
cry.
you know, the volunteers cry, and but it's happy stuff.
But it's a happy cry.
Happy
It's
cry.
a nice,
It's a happy,
rewarding.
it's a happy tears. I
Yep.
mean, you just don't know, you know, they get their own space,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
If it's a little older child, we try to give them what we call a top bed, so they have more room to put their things underneath their bed.
Yeah.
Give them their little area. It makes such a difference, and I mean, some of them want to go take a nap when we leave,
Oh,
like
yeah.
10:30,
Aw.
Oh, yeah.
11 in the morning,
Yep.
you know, so,
Yeah.
you know, you're making a difference, and, but, you know, and we want to make a difference down here.
Yes.
You know, right now we cover, you know, most of the upper part of the state, but if we had, you know, a handful of people to start with that are willing to go out on deliveries, we can supply whatever they need. We can build the beds up in Essex where we build, get the beds down here. We can train them how to put them together. We can buy the tools for them to assemble them, have them right here. We just need a few people that want to come out and you know, get these kids their beds. And I'll guarantee
Amanda, did you hear that? Yep.
and I'll guarantee you, once you deliver beds to these kids, it's infectious.
Yep.
It really is.
Yeah, I
mean,
remember when doing some paperwork for someone, and the funny thing is, and I apologize that because I've reached out always to Bob, not even realizing he had moved. He goes, "No, Mike's taking over," and I'm like, "Oh," he goes, "But let me help you out."
Yeah.
And he was awesome.
Yes.
He was awesome because it's like, you know, it actually felt good to make sure the parent got the paperwork, because it's like you knew it was kind of like he came to me, I went to them, and then you delivered. And that's huge because it made, like I said, this little girl totally impacted her because she went to school and shared with her teacher. And that's, I remember, and the thing is I remember going through a tough time when I left a pretty crappy marriage. You know, my first marriage was not good. And I left the house with bags. That was it. I didn't want anything. I was like, I'm good. And I remember I purchased mattresses at a yard sale because I left with nothing, and they were on the floor. Actually, I don't even think I had one. I think I got the kids one, and I was on the couch because I did purchase the couch. I get it. I understand, you know, and you can never be too humble by all means. Right. And let me tell you that I wish you guys were around back then. But to see what you're doing now and how much you've grown. I watch you guys. I follow you on social media. I am like, wow. And where do you get, I mean, this is where, because I know people are going to have questions, because I do. You have your tools, you get your lumber, but you're affiliated with Lowe's.
Yes.
So explain that.
Well, Lowe's is a huge sponsor for us nationwide. They've given us millions over time with all these chapters. But they give us breaks on lumber, but they also offer each chapter $4,000 a year. So it's like a credit card. So we can buy lumber, we can buy tools, and in every chapter, usually they split it up to $2,000 in the beginning of the year and then $2,000 towards mid to the last part of the year. But they've really worked, and they just did a sponsored build down in North Carolina, a 24-hour build where they built 5,000 beds. So they had like 5,000 people from Sleep in Heavenly Peace volunteers. In 24-hour period, they built 5,000 bed, and Bob Russell was down there for that. Yeah. He worked 14 hours. He said.
How'd that work for him?
He probably wouldn't do it again. But yeah, he did. And then that was like 5,000 beds. They supplied all the lumber. They rented the big conference center down there in Charlotte, North Carolina, and so they're very, very much in our corner.
But your builds look fun.
They are fun.
Everything. I mean, seriously, it looks.
I mean, they really are.
Yes.
I always ask everybody that comes, before and after. And I always ask what they thought. They just thought it was very organized and a lot of fun. It's a very positive experience. If it's not positive, we want to know about it because we want it to be a joy. And everybody can't wait to next year. We have sponsors that come year after year after year and look forward to it. They put it on their docket for their employees and say, can't wait to next year. We'll see you next year.
That's
and
awesome.
we try to invite them to deliveries too, because I tell everybody, that's the frosting. That's the frosting on this cake.
Yeah.
So if you want to go on a delivery, just let me know. We'll try to set it up. We're always looking for help with that.
I saw something yesterday. No, you posted something maybe a couple days ago. Because like I said, I follow. But you have I wish I could pick that up. Who's strong? Do you have a picture of it? The insignia that you guys put on there, is that on there somewhere? Look it. All your little people. See? All these little people. But the stamp you put on one of the beds, is that there a picture of that? Right there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you show the camera that? It's the cutest, but I saw how you did it.
Oh yeah, everybody wants to brand.
I always want to know how they do
Everybody
that.
wants to
There's a stamp
brand.
right up
here.
We have a fire pit
That's
and metal
awesome.
iron, and everybody wants to brand.
See, stuff like this makes me so happy. But I saw that, how you did it, and you brand it,
Yes.
and then you dip it.
And a
Am
stain.
I right?
Yeah.
In a stain. But I didn't realize all that, because I was like, wow, there is a big process to this.
Well, yeah, the stain is made up of vinegar and steel wool. And the vinegar dissolves the steel wool, and it makes the wood bed bug repellent.
Yeah.
I didn't know
Non-toxic.
that.
Poor man's stain in
Poor
back
man's
in the
stain.
day.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah,
wow, that's
yeah.
because
That's all
I
it
saw
is.
a big bucket
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if somebody was dipping, and I went,
Yeah. Yeah.
wow, that's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
So
That's
yeah,
all it is, vinegar and steel wool.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So when you guys do, like, what is your next one, next build you have coming up?
We have one Friday.
Like 2 days?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, we have one.
And where's that?
It's in Essex. It's at Essex where we build. That's the other thing about this.
Yes.
We have this space that is donated by a couple, Robin and Joel Danaher. And I can tell you a story about how this started. We used to have these little banks with bunk beds in them in Dunkin' Donuts. And we had a friend of ours, Jerry Parrott, that would sit there and have coffee, and people would donate money. And well, this one day, this pastor from the Vibrant Church up there in South Burlington came by and said, "Hey, Jerry, what's this all about?" He told him about what we did. And he says, "Well, you guys ought to come and talk to our church." So Bob and Dan went to the church, and they did a presentation and let them know what they were doing. And in this, two of the parishioners in there were Robin and Joel Danaher. And Joel says, "I was watching this, and I got this big, huge house with, like, what's the size of his basement?"
That basement's got to be 60 by 40, and it's all a workshop.
Yeah. So he
small.
said,
Yeah.
So he said, "It's a no-brainer." So he says, "This was meant to be." He says, so after he went and talked to him, he says, "Why don't you guys come build at our house?" And we've been doing that for a long time. Not only do they give us we've already set up for our build for Friday. Guy and a bunch of guys went and done that because he's not going to be here and I'll be here with these. But we've already set it up. We've taken over their basement. Our stuff is all set up, ready to build on Friday. Not only do they do that, but whenever we have a build on a Saturday, they feed us all.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Oh, they're beautiful people.
they are incredible. Just
And I bet they're not the ones that like recognition.
Oh no.
So those are
They
my
always
type of people.
they always say
Yep, those are
if
my
you say
people.
thank you or whatever, we love to work. We like to help those who serve. That's their answer. I mean,
those are my
they just-
people.
you would
Yeah,
love
yeah.
them.
Do you know what I mean? Because you
yeah.
know how
Oh,
I am,
yeah.
and I
Yeah.
love
Yeah.
people that
Yeah.
want to just do that
Yeah.
without being like, hey,
Hey.
no,
Yeah.
because that's from here.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
And that's
And he said it was meant to be. It was just there was a sign. It was a sign. And they had given us a truck. We just recently retired him.
Yeah.
We just recently retired, but they had given us this truck. They registered it. They keep it insured while we delivered beds out of it. I mean,
Plus, you build out of their
Yeah.
house,
Oh, yes.
which means
Yeah.
electricity.
Oh
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Plus, they feed you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
They are.
Yeah.
good
Oh yeah.
people.
Oh yes. Yes.
The best.
They don't come any better.
No.
They don't come
no.
any better. So we are blessed in so many ways, and we have so many advantages. I mean, I don't know of too many chapters that have a place to build
Exactly.
and get fed and at no cost. I mean,
Yeah.
and they can't do enough, and they just they don't think they're doing anything, which is incredible in all
Well,
by
I
itself.
have one girl actually that I'm thinking of. The more you're talking, she's actually starting our group, and she has got the biggest heart. Plus, she's funny, but she doesn't like recognition, and she's actually helping a new family that just moved into town, and this is something that actually would be up her alley too, because she's one that just wants to help, and she belongs to, I forgot what church she is locally, but and those are the people that I find myself very drawn to, because they're good humans. I'm weird about that. No, you know what
I think I certainly
you
understand.
get what
I certainly understand, because in our group, I mean, the people, we just did a tribute on our site that Jerry Wood, who does our social media stuff, just picked all our core volunteers out one by one, and every one is like, oh, that's a great person. Oh, that's a great person.
Yeah.
They say, well, they're all wonderful.
They're
all wonderful people.
But it makes a group work.
Oh yes.
Oh yeah.
When you have a good core on the same page, setting an example, it actually makes an organization work.
And continue to work.
Exactly. And that's why I'm very adamant with what I do, because as long as you're on the same page, we continue to grow.
That's right. That's right.
And that's huge, because, like I said, the things that you have done, like how many will come to your build on Friday?
Well, this being a midweek one is a little tougher, but the people that are sponsoring, their company will send 20, 25 people.
Wow.
Oh, yes.
We'll probably have 10 of our people to help direct.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, we had a church, we had a Church of Latter-day Saints group that we had like 108.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
And the other thing about them is it's funny how they started. We had, I think they had a youth group come to us, and they did a build. And they all, when those kids were so excited about building beds, when they went, they all talked to their elders and all that. And the next thing you know, they give us a call and say, what do you guys need? And Bob said, well, we really could use a trailer. So they provided, how long is that, 16, 18?
16-footer.
So they gave us a brand new 16-foot trailer, all vinyled side with the Sleep in Heavenly Peace logo. Not only that, we went down to the Joseph Smith's birthplace there to pick it up, and they had filled it. They had filled it like halfway full with bedding.
Oh yes.
Okay, I would bawl. I would bawl.
And that's all because the kids got excited. So whenever we see kids come to our builds,
Yes.
they go home excited. They go home and they tell their friends. They tell their parents. They
Yeah.
tell
And
everybody.
they realize that they just made something for another
Yeah,
little kid.
yeah.
Because your ages you do for the bedding are from what to what?
3 to 17.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you know of people, which I know there's plenty, because there is people that reach out to me, I do share information about Sleep in Heavenly Peace. I know one of the mamas that receives some of the beds, she shares stuff all the time. But please get in touch with me. But also we are looking into having a hub this way, because we got in touch with somebody that I know would be great at it, organizing it, because her aunt, she's really good with volunteering, but so isn't her aunt. Her aunt has her hands in some great things. That's what you need. And he's your guy you're going to talk to.
And it's
you know.
also the application is very simple.
Yes.
It's very simple, no financial, nothing. If you have a child from 3 to 17 that's sleeping on bed with the parents or grandparents or on a couch or whatever,
Or one that has a spring coming.
we'll get
through
you.
it.
We'll get you.
Yeah, yeah.
We'll get that child to bed. But we would like a connection down here to help supply more of the
Yeah.
southern part of the state. And who knows where it'll go from there.
Yeah.
I mean, I think once we get some of the folks down here delivering beds to kids, you're going to say, oh, okay.
Well, you know that, because I
Yes.
mean, how many times have I reached? I mean, I've reached
Yeah.
out. I don't want to be too greedy,
Yeah.
but I mean, I get people like, "Wow, did you?" And this is just Ludlow.
Yeah.
I know for a fact if we were to launch,
Spread just a little bit.
especially Springfield. I mean, there's so many little
Yeah,
towns
that's right.
now everywhere that I'm like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, and I love what you guys are doing. I mean, I was so grateful from the first time I met you. I remember I was just starting what I was doing.
Yeah,
So it was kind
we had
of,
a good
I was
time.
getting,
We had
yeah,
a good time.
I was getting my feet wet doing what I was doing.
Yeah.
It was a small, it wasn't big, but it was enough.
Yeah.
And I got it out there, and from that, I've watched it grow. My little happy bags have turned into sunshine baskets.
Oh, nice.
So, and now we're doing soup bread, especially when people are sick and
nice.
having,
Yes.
and if someone's having a rough time, we fill it with all kinds of stuff. So it's gone from little happy bags that I used to do, if you remember that.
Yeah, I do.
And now I'm doing sunshine
Yeah.
baskets.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful. That's why I love collaborating with other good groups doing good things, because in the long run we end up working together.
Yeah.
Because I definitely know coming down here is going to be huge. So, and needed.
Yeah.
And like I said, you had Louis
Guzman.
Guzman, and you said he was awesome.
Yeah.
Do you ever have any other people like that come on and help?
No.
Or was he your first?
He was our
Yeah.
biggest celebrity.
Celebrity?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have
How
lots.
cool.
We have lots of celebrities,
I
but
was
they're
just
just
gonna
they're
say.
just wonderful people. And
Yep.
our biggest celebrities are Robbie
Yeah.
and Joel Danner.
I didn't
Yeah.
even realize that
Yeah.
though.
They are.
I didn't realize
They
they
are
did that.
our heroes. And it's
Now,
just-
where do you get your bedding? A lot of your, like, I know you said
Yeah.
you have the group that puts it together, but do you have other people? Because I know I've sent
Yeah.
stuff.
We just
So-
do shout outs.
Yeah.
Nice.
If we need it.
If we need it.
I mean, we.
And
if
we
you run
do
out
a
of
shout out, and they usually come to my place, which is 750 West Milton Road. And
Don't everybody show up there, please.
and it gets delivered and in my garage that I used to park my truck in.
So if I
is-
wanted to, you used to park your truck and you could no longer. So if I wanted to donate sheets and
Sheets,
stuff,
yes.
what is it again?
750 West Milton Road, Milton, Vermont, 05468.
05 what?
05468.
Because that's a good Amazon idea.
I think in.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
I think in the almost 6 years that we've done this, I think we might have spent a total of $500 in bedding
Oh,
in
yes.
6 years.
It's amazing.
That's how our bedding comes from people, everyone.
Yes.
I remember I got a bunch of stuffies one time, and I think if I just shipped them up there. I don't remember if I shipped. You know what I ended up doing, which was funny. One of she used to manage Rite Aid down here, and Rite Aid's no longer. But every season that they would like seasonal stuffies. And Nancy, who was the manager there, would be like, Paula, I got some stuffies for you. And they'd be at a great price. And I remember one
Yes.
time I just bought a bunch and just shipped them. But to know that a little was going to get it. And I
Yeah.
think you sent me a picture of a couple
Yeah,
littles.
yeah.
And they were just squeezing it. And that just made me so happy.
Yeah.
Because I was, plus I think we did some bedding and stuff.
Yeah.
But
And then
Yeah.
the bedding, it's twin size. Everything
Yep.
is twin size.
Yep.
And it's just, you just can't thank the community
No.
enough. The
Oh, yes.
community is just, they rally. They rally when it comes to kids and it comes to people in need.
Yes.
It's just, we live in a great area that people just care about the other people.
Yeah. Yeah, and down here in Ludlow as well.
Yeah,
'Cause with
absolutely.
My group, we're
Absolutely.
so proactive with children too.
Yes.
I noticed. I don't know if you remember one of the first things I ever said, because it was it pre-COVID when I did, or I don't remember, pre-COVID, and then we had COVID when I started this. So it was pre-COVID, but I remember I went boom because I was seeing the break with kids. And I was like, okay, there's even more stuff going on. And so even more so now, because I saw more mental health, more breaks with mental health, the addiction, kids going into foster care, what have you, during the COVID epidemic, and it was huge. Then I was watching a huge demand for you guys, and I was like, whoa, those guys have gone boom.
Yeah.
So, because I met you 2019,
Yep.
if I'm right,
Yep.
and then COVID hit a year after.
Right about then,
Yeah. And
Yeah.
it was to see
Yeah.
how much you guys have soared and how much we have. So yeah, I hope that we can, collaborate together.
I'm sure
At
we
least
can.
we will.
We will.
It's not a matter, but I just,
It's when. Yep.
yeah.
Yeah.
And definitely to have a hub down here, because I know many could use that.
Good.
And
Yeah.
that would be awesome. So is there anything else you would like to add? How wonderful you guys are. I'm grateful for you. You can say how great you are. I like that.
No. It's just I think we get more of a reward than the kids do. I mean, I really do. I just think
Yeah.
we're very fortunate. It's one of the best. It's definitely the best organization I've been part of.
Yeah.
And we want to share that with this area down here. We want these kids to get their beds. And we're going to make it happen.
Yeah.
We
know
got
me.
you here. We got you here. We got connections.
We have a lot of
Yeah.
sponsors there. The list is endless that are behind us 100%.
Yeah.
Well, right off when you were sharing that with me when I was talking to you, you already have somebody that would help with like things. And I was like, see, right there. I mean, we already have it. It's just a matter of just launching it.
Yeah.
And I'm just one that likes to make sure I got everything, all my ducks in a row before we go boom.
Right.
And no, I am so grateful you guys took the long journey down, one.
Yeah.
But to come here, chat, show your face, congratulations to you.
Thank you.
Because, and you as well,
thank you.
because you guys are doing something amazing. I'll have a few of these with me, and I'll start bringing them to like my group and that I have, but I will also share, and then you can see in the back, we have all of Mike's information as well as Guy's. And I will actually take a picture of this and post it as well. And then when the video comes out, I can leave this with Patrick and he can as well. But I appreciate everything that you guys are doing, and you should be really proud of yourself because you're doing something that all of us, we all need to sleep. You're providing littles that are already in a rough world to begin with right now. Mm-hmm. You're giving the comfort of a bed. And to you and I, it may just be a bed. I get it. But I was that single mom at one time where that bed was huge. And I would have had my children on a bed way before I thought about myself. And to see the joy that it brings, to hear feedback, how a little one gets so excited, that's huge. Yes. And to know that you guys start with a piece of lumber, what you're doing, the final product, it's just, it's awesome.
It's awesome.
I'm proud of you guys.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
We're proud of our mission. Our mission is no kids sleep on the floor in our towns. And
you're doing it.
And we have a lot of people that believe in that mission, including you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do because it's to see, I love this. This is my, can you not stand?
Yeah.
First, but it's true.
And she was the first
one to get a bed.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's just beautiful. Yeah. And it's what you do. And the thing is, and I was reading right off here, I don't even have my glasses, but you don't have a kit, no experience. You just got to be ready to sleep. And they have, you have your what's the word I'm going to say? Your plans. Is that the right word? Like to build the bed. Mm-hmm. You build it, you put it together, boom, there you go.
Yeah.
All our templates.
Yeah. And it's, good luck with your build on Friday.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And, thank you both so very much for taking the long drive. And I know now we'll be connecting.
Thank you for having us.
Yes.
We appreciate being able to speak down here.
Absolutely, because I'm excited to see
I'm sure we'll be down here.
So thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Paula.
Have a wonderful day, and I thank you very much to Mike and Guy for coming down with Sleep in Heavenly Peace. I miss you, Bob, because you're a great guy, but I think you left everything in some good hands. And I appreciate everybody for watching today, and I look forward to seeing you again. Have a great day. Bye.